governmental palace of the tiny Republic of San Marino becomes an impromptu fortress surrounded by communist sympathizers. Here, the red-dominated government, defeated in a recent election, is holed up, guarded by police. They refuse to give up power. Finally, a group of newsmen is allowed through the cordon of police to question members of the red hierarchy. At a conference, Foreign attempts to justify his government stand. Miles away, in a factory building near the Italian border, the duly elected government holds forth, recognized by the United States and Italy.
All right, everybody. Welcome to a Midwest League game here. This is kind of a big one. Jeremy Anders versus Frank Zhang. It's a big one for both players. Jeremy, if he wins, he is guaranteed to win his division and get the number 2 seed and a bye in the playoffs. Frank has a lot of games to play still, but he is right outside of the playoffs. This will get him, or at least keep him in the hunt. So big game for both players. I am joined by J.R. Jones of Team California. J.R., how you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to seeing hopefully a good game.
Yeah. All right. And we're hoping to have both hands up. We should see Frank's shortly, unless I screwed something up here. Yeah, Jeremy here with not a bad hand. Oh shoot.
Yeah, this is an okay hand. It becomes a lot worse if he gets purged, but
yes,
you could definitely go worse than this. I think we'll probably just see CNS on Jeremy's side here.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Frank's hand. He is socialist, which it looks like he's going to headline.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting his up, but socialist is a strong headline here for sure.
Yeah, let me know. Were you able to get the invite to the stream?
I got that invite link, but when I've been clicking on it, it just takes me to the general Discord, not to that specific
okay.
channel. So, wait, tell me, does Frank have Middle East in his hand?
He does.
Okay, so then I think I would still, even with this, I think I would still coup Iran here.
Mm-hmm.
And he disagrees. And rolls a big 6 in Italy.
Yikes.
Well, Jeremy's now in a tough spot because he has Europe in hand. And if he doesn't try and take France right now, he's going to have a hard time contesting it.
Yeah. I guess I get spreading here. Oop. Hang on.
Almost baiting him into taking a pat coup with IP war in hand.
Yeah. Which...
And okay. I can see Frank's hand here now as well. So yeah, if I was Frank, I'm definitely using special here before the UK gets refilled.
Yeah.
You get the free special off.
All right, filling Iraq makes sense. He has to score the Middle East.
Yeah, I don't hate filling Iraq. I might have just put the one in Syria and used the other maybe Afghanistan to force him to fill Pac or something. But filling Iraq is not bad either. You don't it blocks his access from walking back from Iran.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a bit when you control the scoring card, you don't really have to rush quite as much to do that, but he does have to get his presence at some point.
And these players are almost playing like they have each other's scoring cards in hand. Jeremy going hard in the Middle East
Yeah.
here, and Frank attacking Europe on AR1. I like this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
if I was Frank here now, I think I would just immediately counter that with the Middle East scoring, get that one out of my hand. I don't think you really want to coup Iran right now at this point, so get that out for even and be happy.
I mean, maybe he's considering cooing Pakistan first, or doing something to threaten Asia. But tempo-wise, it feels good to score the Middle East here.
Yeah, and I would be too afraid of that. One in Pakistan, to me, is just taunting you with the fact that
Yes.
you probably have IP war.
Yeah.
And we all know IP war always hits in the early war. So
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. He slowly hovered over that commit button.
slowly, very slowly decided to score the Middle East. But I think that's the right decision. I
Yeah.
like that. So if I'm Jeremy now, I think you need to get at least one into India.
Or maybe, do you coup here as Jeremy? Because you have decal. So the only thing he's really worried about here is D-style to get into Thailand.
Yeah, coup isn't bad with decal in hand. Vietnam probably would have been.
Oh,
line.
Vietnam is still out there too.
Personally, I like headlining Vietnam more than stock govs, but
Yeah, I would have done that as well, but not everyone does.
yeah.
All right, he is going to go with a coup.
And obviously,
Oh, Korea.
I don't mind Korea there. If you if you break it, that's something he needs to repair right away. You might deny him the DEFCON 2 coup. Now we'll surely see Frank just take a coup back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I think
his only targets there were 3 stabs, so that makes sense given that's the region that isn't scored yet.
And I think I would just maybe coup Iran here.
He's looking like he wants to place influence. Take Korea with U.S. Japan.
I don't hate that play either. Maybe Frank thinking about letting the DEFCON go back to 4. Keep Jeremy out of Thailand and see if he can redraw something access.
Yeah,
next turn.
I don't mind it when you have a lot of bad cards in your hand, but he doesn't have to play U.S. Japan in this hand.
Right.
So he does end up taking that back and putting 2 into Korea, 1 into Afghanistan.
And I think this play makes sense from Jeremy. Block Pakistan, make him coup or make him flip it with the China card if he wants it. Get into India and start working on Thailand.
Yep.
I would not flip Pakistan with the China card here.
Nope.
So I don't think we'll see that.
Yeah, way too early to give up the China card.
Yeah, if I was Frank here, I'd probably just go ahead and hit the space with USJ.
I mean, he can
I mean,
take
like you
Korea.
said, I really don't want to give up USJ here, and you have
No. I don't want to give it up either.
I don't know. I don't think there's a rush on Korea. At 1-2, the U.S. probably isn't going to event the war on a 50-50, so
Yeah.
I think you could wait. Because now your last AR is probably just spacing, which is always a little weak.
Yeah, poking
But now I think he needs to
Pakistan,
hit
though, that then puts pressure on India. You've already seen Indo-Pak.
Sure.
Yeah, I like this. Because Jeremy has a lot of obligations. He has to fill Thailand, and now Frank has access to Pakistan and India. He's threatening Korea to finish
Yeah,
taking
a
Korea.
little unfortunate for Frank that Jeremy has a 4-op there to
Yeah,
cover
he held
everything,
that back.
but you've got a 4-op in hand. You can't. I like the idea behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would just take all of the battlegrounds here and not overprotect Thailand personally, but
I mean, I can see why he's doing it because DEFCON's going to go up to 4. But yeah, I think taking all the battlegrounds is the best play.
yeah, I think you almost have to just event the Korean War here because, like you said, it's going to 4, so I want one more in Thailand and probably Laos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Vietnam next turn, if you only have it at 2, just a regular, garden variety 4-op goes ahead and flips Thailand. So I really think you need to get one more in there by the end of the turn.
Yeah.
And if Frank locks in what he's thinking right now and just takes Korea, that makes that decision a little easier on you.
Yes.
And on just so I'm clear, on stream, they can't see what Frank's doing, right? They can just see Frank's hand.
They just see his hand, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's looks like he's definitely taking Korea here and thinking about just filling France, which I don't hate either.
Yeah, it makes West Germany look really lonely there.
Yeah, purge blockade unseen. I mean, scary situation for
Jeremy.
right
Yeah.
off the bat. But I think this makes your decision easy. I think you event the Korean War and protect Thailand.
Yes. All right, here it goes. Maybe.
I was thinking Lao, but getting one next to West Germany in case you do get blockaded out.
I don't mind that at all. Yep.
Big fat one.
All right, so Jeremy gets Asia scoring, which is good for him.
Jeremy, very, very, very lucky that Frank does not have Purge in his hand because this would be...
Oh, yeah. Be a disaster.
You would have to give decall because giving blockade with his hand under Purge would be game losing.
Yep. I think, is there anything that would stop Asia scoring in the headline?
I don't think so. I
mean, we know he's headlining Vietnam, but...
Yeah. But I think the only thing that could even come close would be... No, I don't think there's anything. Even decall wouldn't stop it. So no, there's nothing that could stop this.
Yeah, so just headline the scoring. I mean, you don't have a clear headline card anyway.
Yeah. Jeremy already lamenting that he's doomed, but he'll be okay. He's not getting purged. This is going to be not a fun hand to play, but
yeah,
he'll be all right. You just have to blockade NORAD and space decall.
Yep, it's definitely manageable.
And sometimes I might hold blockade there, risk it a little bit, but with being down to only West Germany, I think you just need to get that event out of the deck.
Yeah, and Purge is still out there. So yeah,
you could be in the same situation next turn. So if I'm Frank, Vietnam, I'm still going to take a big, probably not China, but a 5-op coup of Thailand with a regular 4-op. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, why not? Go big or go home.
And Frank is hovering it, thinking about it. 50-50 roll, and he does not roll well.
Well, he rolls enough that Jeremy is going to need to make a decision here. Well,
And
actually, that decision is probably to take Thailand.
the only problem for Jeremy here is you would really like to overprotect Thailand when you take it, with him having the Vietnam bonus, but he
But
doesn't
you
have a
can't
playable
do
threat.
that. Yeah.
He is a little lucky that Frank does not have another 4-op in his hand. I don't know if there's any left. Yeah, Purge, but
Purge,
that
yeah.
probably would have been at mine.
Oh, and we haven't seen Marshall Plan yet.
That's true. But I would flip with the China card here. That even
Even
Asia just got
holding.
scored, but it evens up Asia long term.
Oh, I was about to say even holding CIA, but CIA is free.
Yeah, CIA, no problem. Unless Jeremy coups with Fidel,
Yeah.
which it looks like we're going to probably be able to keep him busy, so he can't do that. And right now, Frank is thinking about just breaking Thailand and putting one in Laos, which, I don't know. I mean, you could flip Thailand with China, and you would still have, with the Vietnam bonus, an op left over to put in Laos, and then you just have the country. This gives Jeremy a chance to overprotect Thailand now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
Which,
what
if I were Jeremy, I would.
I guess what he's thinking is country count, but he's still going to have issues with country count, even taking Lao.
Yeah, and it's turn 2. You already, like, you have CIA in hand that you're going to be able to get rid of. You aren't going to be able to blockade any, like, D-stall out of his hand. So I would have been happy to give China card there.
Yeah.
Thailand instantly evens up Asia. It's a 4-point swing for Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I think that would have been well worth it.
Thinking about taking a coup here, which makes sense. It's a bummer you can't coup Panama, because if you roll too big, you
right
run into trouble. I think so. So you almost have to coup Iran, and that's not a super valuable coup. I think I would just do it with CIA here rather than defectors, which he reached for, because
it really you really don't care.
And if you roll it like this, Jeremy's next card is almost certainly.
I mean, you could have even invented CIA and then couped Panama.
Yeah, if you event CIA, I think Jeremy might end up just coupping Iraq for the VP.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And this is a mistake. Jeremy should be playing Fidel right now.
100%. Yeah.
Maybe he just thought that Frank wouldn't have it, but yeah, that's
no. If you have Fidel, CIA is not seen yet, and the Soviets don't have any influence in Africa or the Americas, then yeah, you 100% play Fidel.
Let's see if Frank takes advantage of his good fortune here and plays CIA, or if he thinks, oh, he must not have Fidel.
Yeah, I know that sometimes it gets into that game. Someone makes a mistake, and you just assume, oh, they don't have that.
Yeah, I saw someone's game yesterday or 2 days ago where the opponent did not headline Middle East as the USA on turn 1, so they just assumed it was not in their hand, because that's everyone's USA headline, right. And they got punished for it a little.
Oh, he's still not playing CIA. Playing with fire here.
Three ops in Malaysia. That's so expensive. This is a very expensive play to fight Asia on a country count.
I mean, he's surrounding Thailand's future brush war target, but yeah, it does seem like a lot.
I think your hand is not bad here. Like, it's a fine hand to show. I don't mind just playing CIA right now. Let him see it, and then you can just fill Burma with CIA using your bonus op
Yeah.
in 8.
This I don't mind. Going Burma and then, yeah. Gets you access to Indonesia as well.
Yeah,
But...
if Max is watching tonight, he knows I love a good Burma fill. So, so yeah, Frank wants to go with 2 Burma, 2 Malaysia. That's okay. But even then, I still feel like he has other things he could be filling rather than Southeast Asian countries. He could be filling Algeria. He could be filling a non-battleground in Europe.
I mean, yes, Portugal. Like, that's just sitting there.
Yes, Portugal, hugely important.
Although, I mean, Frank doesn't have access, or Jeremy doesn't have access, but you want to get a non-battleground at some point.
And now we're going to see Fidel.
Yeah.
And Frank is going to be very unhappy.
Yep.
And this Asia country count, I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to stop him. I think the country count is still going to end up on Jeremy's side. Frank, upset that he is now stuck with CIA. And you have to now space 5-year plan or play China.
Yeah, really annoying, but you can see why he would think that, because Fidel didn't get played right away, but...
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, playing CIA earlier, what's it going to hurt you? This isn't... Like, yeah, you're showing containment, but you're going to have to show it anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind showing that. When he could have given CIA, he had 3 ops left after CIA. That's a fine hand to show. Right. No, it doesn't hurt you. Jeremy is going to get the containment op here. Get that 1 bonus op.
Yeah, but he's going to have to give Romanian, which... Actually, I wonder if he even spaces Romanian. Well, now it doesn't matter.
If Frank does not end up filling a European non-battleground, I think spacing Romania makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I have to keep remembering that people can't see Frank's whole hand. I'm not even going to look at Frank's screen. You can talk about what Frank is potentially doing. I'm just going to ignore his screen.
Yeah, he is potentially filling Portugal, which I think is a good play, not knowing that he's about to get Romanian.
Yeah.
But don't you at least try blocking Asia? Yeah. So Frank is going to block Asia and take Portugal, which I think is a reasonable play in a vacuum. It is going to mean Jeremy is more willing to play Romanian abdication, though, for 2 ops.
Yeah, for sure.
But Frank cannot make up his mind. He is just clicking and doing the same plays over and over again. He's debating between Burma and Afghanistan. If you were going to fill one of those, which would you rather fill, Derek?
I think I'd fill Burma. Afghanistan, yeah, I know it will give the U.S. an extra VP, but they need to spend 3 influence to take it. I
also probably would go Burma between the 2 here.
Yeah.
He does lock it in.
Yeah, I like this. Although I might have even overprotected France over Burma.
Because Truman is unseen.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we really need a 6th one right now in West Germany? Is there any... I guess we're worried about Asaka's redraw.
True.
But with Truman out there, I'm not super worried about that at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Ever since King Michael of Romania came to the throne in 1927, he's been in the forefront of European news. He was then a boy of 6, having succeeded King Ferdinand after Carol had been exiled.
Frank's hand.
3 years later, Michael's father returned to Romania and was proclaimed king. His rule lasted for 10 years until in 1940 he abdicated in favor of his son. Michael was now 19 years old, and the next piece of dramatic news was his arrest of the pro-German Antonescu. We see him here later, attending a Russian celebration in honor of the Soviet Army's 28th anniversary.
So
yeah.
I think I would score the middle.
And this year he came to London to attend Princess Elizabeth's wedding. His engagement to Princess Anne of Bourbon-Parma was announced only a short time before his abdication.
There's nothing really that Jeremy can do to prepare for it anyway. So, hold off on that and headline Middle East.
The odds on India are staying the same no matter what. But you're definitely giving CIA here, right? Once you see that Duck was not redrawn, like CIA Era 1 is a no-brainer. You don't want to keep that around. And for Jeremy, the only thing that blocks Asia scoring would be a redrawn decall.
Or that Indo-Pac succeeding.
Or the Indo-Pac succeeding. Neither of which are really... I mean, I guess the redrawn decall, you could fix it, but if he's spending a couple ops in Asia and you know he has CIA, like I feel like that's a win. I would just go ahead and headline the Asia here, but...
Yeah. Oh, what's
Marshall
Frank end up headlining there? It wasn't Middle East.
AI war. He went AI war.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Yeah, if he wins the 33% AI war, he's got a pretty good odds of scoring a Dom in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Germany does go Asia.
Oof.
Frank loses the AI war.
So
see, now Frank's in trouble. Now I think you need to get CIA.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeremy's going to see Middle East and probably get a Dom off because he's in no rush to play Nasser. That can be his hold card even if it needs to be.
Yeah, I think that AI war was definitely a mistake. Yeah, Frank's in a really tough spot now. Maybe you don't hold... or maybe you do hold CIA now.
I mean, so you do have China.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not in immediate danger of being DEFCONed, but I don't know, holding a known CIA into the mid-war is
know, it's awful, it's disgusting, but given the VP lead, I think you might need to.
You really don't want to be down 13 VP or so going into turn 4 with no influence in Africa or South America.
Yeah.
He does have a decent number of ops in his hand. He might be able to draw it even. He would have to take Israel probably, which is kind of gross, but he might be able to even up the Middle East if he does give CIA here. Take Saudi and then take Israel.
Ew. Yeah, that would be expensive, but where else is he putting his ops?
Yeah, I mean, the only other place he really has to put ops this turn is I would really like to see him take Algeria by the end of the turn, but that's about it.
Yeah.
If you give CIA and Jeremy takes a coup, you could consider getting into a coup war on the walk down to Nigeria. You've already given him a mill up, and you have no access to Africa at the moment.
Yeah, that could be a war you could win.
Frank Mousen over to the Middle East. But I think if you're thinking about scoring the Middle East, you're not getting CI off anyway. You might as well just coup in the Middle East first. Coup Iran first, see if you get something.
Oh, is he? Oh, he's doing it.
See, I don't know. This feels like the worst of both worlds. You don't get any points in the Middle East, and you're stuck with CIA now.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I know he was worried about like getting dominated in the Middle East, but then just headline it.
Yeah, exactly, and I definitely agree with that. And like you were saying earlier, now what are you doing with your ops? Asia and the Middle East are both scored. You
Yeah,
have no access anywhere else.
Europe's
And
pretty
Asia
secure.
Yeah, Europe is quite secure. So
Go take some realigns on Panama.
yeah, I think that's actually I think that'd be a great play. We've all been burned many times by someone taking a random realign at even or +1 or -1, and you just get wiped out.
Yep.
But he needed to do this at some point. I don't hate it if Frank goes ahead and just takes Algeria, which is what he's hovering at the moment.
Yeah.
That's something that he needs to do this turn.
Yeah, for sure.
Overprotecting some European battlegrounds is also worthwhile. Truman's in your hand, but at least putting one more in France, I think would be good.
Yes.
President Eisenhower signs a congressional resolution giving him authority to use armed forces in defense of Formosa and other strategic islands.
Okay, well, Comic-Con will help out Frank if Jeremy decides to play this.
Yeah. Which, at some point this turn, Jeremy's going to play Comic-Con. He's not...
Right, 100%.
Yeah. But with Millops now even, decal somewhere lost in the deck, I think I would really take a look at doing the Saharan walk here.
Yeah, Jeremy's considering eventing independent reds.
Knowing Truman is in Frank's hand, that is pretty annoying for him.
Yeah, but he knows about Purge. Is Suez a redraw, or is that known?
I think Suez is a redraw.
Okay.
I think
this
and IP War are unknown.
Yeah. If anything, this is really annoying for Frank.
Oh, absolutely. It also gives him access to Turkey there if he wanted
to
start slowly creeping up that country count fight. I think there's more important things for Jeremy to do on this board for sure, but it's at least annoying for Frank.
Yeah, the more I think of this, the more I don't like it, because it does give Frank something to do with his ops, where Jeremy has plenty of things he can do with his ops. Like Mexico's still there, he can start a walk through Africa, filling Panama.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jeremy needs at least 3 in Central, 2 Mexico, 1 Panama.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see him get to Cameroon by the end of the turn.
Yeah.
That would be a last AR, but Cameroon by the end of the turn would be good. Guatemala, same deal.
Mm-hmm.
At last AR, a Guatemala Cameroon play would be very nice. Set up 2 DOMs.
Yeah, I get what Jeremy's trying to do there, but I think he had better things to do with that card.
And I don't know about this one at all. Why Tunisia? I mean, I know you want to get into Libya, but you know he has Nasser in hand that he probably will give you at some point. And the Middle East is scored. It's not coming back until turn 7 at the earliest.
Yeah.
If I'm down 10 VP, I would be more focused on what I could try and do in Africa.
I mean, maybe he's thinking OPEC in the future. I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize it.
I mean, Libya is a great country to have. It's a very important country to have in the Middle East. Absolutely. The first one there will often end up with it for the rest of the game. So it's not that it's not an important country. In a vacuum, I might be okay with that play, but you're down 10 VP. I would be just trying to focus on making sure I get as many VP out of these mid-war regions as I can.
Yeah. I guess it was just one of those things, like he needed the 3 ops to fill Romania back up and wasn't sure where to put that 4th one.
Sure. But if you don't know where to put the 4th one, you can just use Suez. I know it's an unknown
country.
Maybe
yeah, true.
Just using c5. I think at this point that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, you almost just got punished with Truman, so why don't you just go ahead and get that out?
Please play Truman.
Jeremy did not play into Egypt at all, so there's no contest for Libya. You can just put one in Libya, and now it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, op in Finland. That's fine. At this point, Jeremy should definitely play Nasser so that it's out of the deck and you can get your Sadat and your Camp David before or after Nasser.
Yeah. And are you holding D-style here as Jeremy?
I might space D-stall and hold like the 4-op if you don't need it, but you might just need. Well, you could go. So if you play Nasser, you could just play it into Zaire, and then you could use Comic-Con to go like 2 Mexico, 1 Cameroon, and space D-stall and hold the 4-op.
My only thought with holding D-style is like Frank needs access, and D-style gets him access if Frank, for some lucky reason, draws Salt turn 4.
Right.
He can get D-style. So with this VP lead, I would maybe try holding it.
But it gives you it's the same odds because Salt is the only card that picks up D-stall. If he draws Junta and gets to headline that, it's equally as bad because he places it into Uruguay and then spreads into Brazil and Argentina right away.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand holding D-stall, but if I don't have to hold an unplayable card into my hand going into the mid-war, I kind of prefer not to. Personally.
That's fair. Yep.
I think there's arguments both ways. I don't think it would be unreasonable to hold it here at all. I think this is perfectly fine too.
Yeah.
So whatever combination of this you want, I think it's fine. You're taking Mexico, you're taking a 3rd battleground in Africa, you're going to take Africa and Central Dom at the end of the turn.
Yeah, all good things.
Yeah. I don't think the order super matters here.
No.
The other scarier thing, if Frank redraws Salt, is it allows him to do realigns on West Germany.
Ooh, yeah, that is probably even worse. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know that I would do it right now, but maybe instead of Austria, if that op had gone into Benelux, you could fully take that to even up the realigns.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, technically you could take Austria too, but just a little more expensive.
Yeah, just the extra op is not fun. What are you doing here as Frank? You have 3 ops and not a lot useful to do with them.
I'd be realigning Panama. And then if that succeeds, go and start realigning Zaire. I mean, I think filling up Libya, starting to fill Saudi for OPEC in the future. If you're just going to place ops, that makes sense. Oh, France is still not overprotected.
Yeah, I do think I would like to see France overprotected. You obviously are not going to walk now since it's your last AR.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe France, Libya. I don't know what the last one does.
Yeah, France and Libya both make sense.
I guess you already have one in Tunisia. Maybe just take Tunisia too.
I don't know. Maybe put into Poland for future pope.
He did on his screen for a second. He thought about flipping Indonesia with it, which isn't awful either. Southeast Asia scoring will come at some point.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
This is okay. He protects Cuba and just takes Libya. Was Marshall known? Were both of these cards known cards in Jeremy's hand?
Marshall was for sure known.
Okay. So yeah, I like this play a lot. If with Marshall being known, he's not going to use a 4-op to coup in Central.
And oh wait, yeah, D-Style was known too. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not going to use a 4-op to coup in Central. So you blocked Dom.
But he might.
And I mean, jamming France is something, but
still
not that close to even blocking Dom.
The more I think of it, I forgot he has Italy too, so it really doesn't do that much.
Oh, here is some good stuff.
There's a blue hand.
And Frank, super, super happy to see UNCIA.
Yes, that is very nice.
I think if I'm Frank, Che is probably the headline, which he is already thinking about. And if I'm Jeremy, I like Duck a lot here. With the idea being that he'll coup Cameroon AR1, and then you can either puppet or CRG into Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 EP is just nice.
Yes, very nice.
So Frank will just coup the 2 non-battlegrounds here. And probably would have liked to have those roles flipped.
Yeah.
So if I'm Frank now, I would flower power flip Zaire, thinking that Nigeria is pretty safe, or you can coup back for it if you need to.
Yeah. He'll be very disappointed when Colonial comes out, but yes, not knowing that, I think that makes sense.
That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. This is an official.
Yeah, it'll be a shame when CRG comes out, but I think that would be a pretty good play.
Yeah, I agree.
But Frank is a genius, and he knew that was going to come. So he takes Africa Dom right away, which also makes sense. Even without CRG, taking Africa Dom there prevents him from scoring it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Jeremy's hesitation is here. I think the play he just made is almost a no-brainer.
Yeah. I guess
I don't know. You have nuclear test ban in your hand right there. If you just poke the battlegrounds and do Saharan, if he plays a 4-op, you get one of them back with nuke test ban. You can't overprotect both 1-stabs, and you get Africa Dom back right away.
Yeah.
Maybe Jeremy's just thinking he doesn't want to spend his 4-op there because he wants to puppet into South, and then he needs to have some ops.
He needs to start filling it up, yeah.
Yeah. So if that's what his line of thinking is, I can see where that's a
that makes sense.
He has 2 unplayable cards in his hand, so he's running a little low on ops.
Yeah, he doesn't want to focus all his time on Africa.
Frank thinking about eventing Omit, which he's going to have to do this turn at some point anyway, so might as well just get out of the way.
Yeah, see what you have to deal with, or what gets discarded, I should say.
And that's not bad.
No, Liberation will go away.
But Central's getting scored this turn anyway.
Yeah.
I guess you get rid of Cuban Missile Crisis? I don't know.
Probably get rid of Kitchen too, right? Is Kitchen even close? Well, I guess it will be.
Active. Or close to it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The Middle East, I forgot how one-sided battlegrounds in the Middle East are. Yeah, I would have gotten rid of Kitchen as well.
Well, but with South America, Kitchen might become active.
Well, so you're down 3 battlegrounds already in Europe.
Oh, and yeah, you're right. No, it's pretty far off, yeah.
I'm just thinking, man, if Frank had just flipped Thailand with the China card, he could be in such good shape right now.
Yeah, it'd be a different game.
Yeah. All right. So Jeremy just does this. I would have. It's not going to matter here. It's totally fine. But I think you want to puppet Venezuela, Brazil, Chile, right? Because now ABM or Brush War on Brazil gets him both top battlegrounds.
Yes.
So very minor mistake, not going to be punished for it here. But if you're watching this at home, learning Twilight Struggle, maybe do it a little differently. Mistakes you make like that and get punished once, and then you learn your lesson.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've been punished for that at some point, and I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Or filling Argentina when you could have filled Chile first, and then it gets brushed away from you or something.
Yep.
Okay, here's some realigns.
1. Oh.
I mean, so if he had done it the way I'd said, he would have gotten relined out of Chile.
Right. Yeah, it would have been basically the same.
This, I guess, does allow, if Jeremy wants to at some point, him to do a pincer into Uruguay and Colombia, and he will end up with one of those other battlegrounds on the top at least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a third in Argentina. I guess you have to use the 4-op there if you want to take both countries, and you don't have a great spot to put the 4th op.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I see that.
I might have put the 4th in Pakistan. Just
oh, that's fair.
No reason to risk the flip at this point. And I think Jeremy needs to get some of these obligations.
I was about to say, he's got obligations.
Yeah. Next, we'll space, then we'll Portuguese and repair, and then coup with nuke subs. Not necessarily in that order, but some portion of those events should happen. Hey!
All right.
Frank's on the board of space. There you go.
All right, yeah, I'd space right back.
Jeremy hits as well. So instead of giving Portuguese, like I was saying, you could just space again and get rid of one of these red
We
cards.
will bury you. Yeah, we will bury you. Sometimes it's nice to hold it as missile envy protection.
Yeah, and lone gunman already seen, so you know you're not going to get into too big of a DEFCON problem. But yeah, I've held Wheelbarrow several times just because I wanted to make sure that my opponent couldn't just freely missile envy me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy, very, very upset to see this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gone. It's coming back. It can always come back in the late war. So
Yep.
he at least is not it's at least not removed.
Oof.
That's a pretty bad time to roll a 1 there.
Yeah. I mean, luckily
he would have had to roll a 3 to flip it back, but that would block Africa Dom.
Yeah.
And if I'm Frank here, I might just I might walk down into Botswana with the idea being I'm going to coup Angola next turn, and I can try and set up an Africa control after I get that country.
Yeah, I like that.
It also just sets your country count so high that
yeah, there's
you're pretty secure no matter what happens. And that is exactly what it's going to do. Antonija. So yeah. And with grain gone, there's not much in the way of cards that are going to steal the coup from him outside of a junta coup of Cuba.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, there's the fork. I like that.
Only bad thing here is if Frank gets junta, then Jeremy is losing Angola and losing at least 2 battlegrounds in South America.
Yes, that would be a disaster. Do you need to do the fork? Could you at least retake Angola, just not overprotect it, and then put 1 in like Uruguay?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I like this better. Oh, and he draws Africa.
Not what he wants to see.
Nope.
OAS very nice though. Might be my headline to prevent against any sort of junta. Maybe not. What do you think about just headlining Africa here? It's I guess not with SAU unseen, because even then, I don't know. I think I might just headline Africa here.
Yeah, because you're not going to get controlled if you headline it. You're not going to lose presence.
If he does something like headline SAU, you aren't going to get any of your battlegrounds back.
Right.
Knowing Frank's hand, Missile Envy is a great choice.
Oh, Missile Envy is great, yeah. And
he's going to get Muslim, and there's no way Frank headlines that.
Yep.
We could maybe see Frank headline Brezhnev, but I don't think you'd necessarily need that with his hand.
No. Yeah, because you're going to event Brush War. Well, yeah, he goes with Brush War.
I think that was unavoidable. There was really nothing to be done about that.
Oh man.
The 3.
Should have been Thailand. But no, I totally agree with Argentina, given we haven't seen that scoring yet.
Yeah. And Jeremy now probably going to get out of Africa here.
Yeah.
After this Zaire coup.
Yeah, because Frank won't be able to flip Angola back.
No. So Frank has just got to coup Colombia here at this point, I think. And he rolls big.
All right, yeah, that's really important.
You have OAS in hand, though, so you have OAS to get back to Brazil. So, yes, overprotect this. And if you're worried about it, you can go into Uruguay here. But
yeah,
that's more for, I guess, just in case Frank wants to drop south right away.
Yep. Yeah, I like this.
Tough break for Frank there. Now, what are you going to do? Decall?
Decal.
You break South Africa. You make Angola flippable again. You could threaten to flip Thailand with the China card. You could like break Indonesia. Um, you probably get something out of that deal. Um, he probably wouldn't repair everything.
Yeah. I mean, that or taking Venezuela.
Yeah, you do need to take Venezuela, so maybe you do that first. And shuttle, I guess you're gonna have to give it anyway, so
Yeah.
no problem. But it does kind of hurt, in case you do get one of those battlegrounds in Asia flipped. Um, still is gonna let him keep Asia Dom. And once the inevitable Sadat comes out and potentially flips Egypt, it could help block your Dom in the Middle East too.
Yeah, but at this point, I think you have bigger problems. You're hoping you get to the point where shuttle is a factor.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just try and survive these scorings that are coming, I guess.
All right, he's worried about an ABM. A lot of overprotecting going on.
Yeah, and apparently so is Jeremy. Well, I guess what else does Jeremy need to spend his ops on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's turn 5. This board is really full.
Yeah, Austria. He should spend his ops on Austria.
That's true.
Get rid of voice. So, would you consider one small stepping for the headline peak if Jeremy misses his space roll here?
Yeah.
I think you're behind a lot. So, DEFCON's a future you problem. Present you wants headline peak, so you know exactly what's coming.
And truthfully, a lot of the DEFCON cards are in the discard anyway.
Yeah. Camp David is a terrible event for Frank. I think you need to fill Saudi because you just need to try and take some battlegrounds and stay alive here. Decall, also fine. I think you do the Angola, South Africa, Thailand, and Indonesia. I don't think there's any point in putting one in Zaire with it at 5-0.
No.
And Southeast Asia, you could get some points there. And you're probably losing the China card at some time kind of soon. We haven't seen any of the 3 China card events.
All right, here comes. Just what you said.
Yeah, I like that. And Jeremy actually in a pretty tough spot now. His only playable ops are Usuri, and he would have really liked to get China card with that.
Yeah, but I do think he needs to use it to
absolutely
fix some things.
You must protect. You must overprotect Angola. You cannot let him flip it. Unless you maybe just want to score Africa right now and say, hey, I'm going to win before Africa comes back. I don't care if you flip it.
That's reasonable. Because, yeah, he's only going to get 1 VP out of it.
Yeah, Jeremy is certainly not going to score this Africa Dom. But I do think overprotecting Thailand was also a must for Southeast Asia scoring. So
yes,
I think this is the right play, even if it hurts. So now, if I'm Frank, you're taking Indonesia, and I don't know what you do beyond that. Maybe Afghanistan. I don't know.
Is that even out country count?
Without shuttle, it definitely does. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, country count is 6-6, but right now, so just Indonesia, even with shuttle,
Yeah.
will lock country count. So maybe you don't need Afghanistan. Maybe instead you start filling Saudi. Get a couple more points from OPEC when it comes.
Yeah. Or maybe since you're kind of running out of playable apps, maybe just take Egypt and hope you can get OPEC out before Sadat comes out.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be worth it at this point.
Yeah.
You're down 16 VP,
You,
about to be 17.
You need some luck to go your way.
Yes, exactly. And for the same reason, I think you just one small step for the event. Maybe you get headline peak, and maybe you get the chance for the 3 VP from the next space slot. And he's thinking about it.
Yep, we can see on my side he picked up the card. Yeah, there it is.
So what is Frank's path to winning this game at this point?
Jeez.
It's a 6-turn quagmire.
Yeah, it's narrow. Like, because he's got to avoid... Like, he's got to avoid losing to get to the scenarios where he can win.
Yeah. He needs
Europe,
to draw ABM.
Europe is still out there. So that's a source of EPs. I forgot about Europe.
And Europe is worth a lot.
Yeah.
For Europe. But if South America comes before Europe, it just doesn't matter.
Right, yep. Okay. So yeah, you got to event OAS.
OAS. That's enough to win. I'm okay with that. I was thinking retake Dom, but that still makes South America scoring a winning scoring. So.
But the issue is, well, it doesn't matter because neither of them drew South America. But
correct. He
could have. Well, yeah, I guess I see that.
I believe.
Alliance though, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Frank does not have a way to get 2 VP. He can get 1 in a couple of ways, but not 2. So
yeah, and the scoring cards obviously go after Alliance, so...
Yep. So Jeremy wins this one.
That is it.
To Jeremy.
My goodness. Yeah, so Jeremy, he wins his division. He will be the second seed in the playoffs. He gets a nice bye. And Frank, he still has a lot of games to play, but he has some digging to do to get back in the playoff race. So,
right.
Yep. JR, thank you for commenting tonight. It's always nice to have a guest on. And
yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Jeremy, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.